Good morning. Thanks for joining our Facebook Live. My name is Jenny Scott and I am the manager of the birthing suites here at Finley Hospital. Today, on the start of World Breastfeeding Week, we are going to be talking with Laura Knabel, our IBCLC and lead breastfeeding educator. So welcome to Laura. Do you want to tell us a little about yourself, Laura?
Sure, thanks Jenny. Yes, my name is Laura Knabel. I've been employed at Finley in labor and delivery for 28 years. So really I've been doing breastfeeding education my entire career here because there have always been breastfeeding mothers. I've been more formally educated in the last probably 15 to 16 years as a lactation counselor, and then I recently, last year, got my internationally board certified lactation consultant certificate, if you would say. So love labor and delivery, love helping breastfeeding moms. I also do our home visit program, so we do a lot of breastfeeding education in the homes as well as here in the hospital.
Awesome.
Yeah,
we're glad to have you.
Well, thank you, and happy World Breastfeeding Week. Thanks for making the choice,
Yay.
the choice to breastfeed. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to start with some questions here, okay?
Okay.
So how often and how long do newborns breastfeed?
Well, every baby is different, of course. I am a huge promoter of feeding on demand, meaning whenever a baby wants to breastfeed, they breastfeed. The minimum is always 8 to 12 times in a 24-hour period. So that doesn't mean it's going to be at least every eight times in 24 hours, if not more. Once they get a little bit older, then those feeding times will change and vary. They change with growth spurts. They change with activities at home. You know, some babies are up more at night in the beginning and nurse more frequently at night. So again, I think just go with the flow, feed them on demand, but they nurse quite a bit in the first few days.
Awesome. Okay. What if the baby refuses to eat or is too sleepy?
That does happen. I was working with a mom today. Her baby is just happy to lay at the breast and never really eat. And so sometimes what we do then is have moms express milk by hand or pump. The most important thing the first 24 to 48 hours after delivery is to get that colostrum flowing. And if a baby goes to breast, the baby does that, him or herself. But if you have a baby that has no interest right away, then you need to manually do that. So then when baby does wake up a little bit, or the proverbial light bulb goes off in their head that they want to eat, then the milk will be there and they'll nurse a little bit better. So I think there are those instances where a baby just refuses, or there's times where babies are separated from mothers, whether they're in the NICU because of a premature birth or they're sick. Then we have to have moms pumping and expressing that milk in order to get the milk in so it's ready when baby does go to breast. But babies need to eat, and if they absolutely refuse to, then we'll work on supplementing with mom's own breast milk just to get that nutrition in them.
Okay. So it's not a bad thing to wake them up, stimulate them, make
Not
them
at
hungry.
all, not at all. You'll find that more sometimes when you get home too, where they're sleepy and don't want to wake up for feedings, or they're up all night and sleep all day. Then by all means wake your baby during the day. Undress them, rub their elbows. They don't like their elbows rubbed very much. They don't like their backs rubbed. Those types of things will wake them up. And in the hospital, the nurses are good at that. But we're not home with you all the time. So you do sometimes have to wake your baby up to get those feedings in, especially during the day.
Okay. I think this is a big question that's always asked, is how will I know if my baby is getting enough milk?
Yeah, that's probably the number one question you get all the time. And my typical answer is what goes in must come out. So if they're transferring milk, you're going to see stools, you're going to see wet diapers. Our general rule of thumb is one wet, one dirty diaper for every day old that they are up until about a week of age. So if your baby's 4 days old, you should have 4 wets and 4 dirty diapers within a 24-hour period. The other thing is babies should get contentment at the breast. If they're transferring milk, you'll hear them swallowing, but you'll also see them relax through a feeding. So if they're content, if they're stooling, then you know that they're getting enough milk. Okay. And weight gain, of course, is very important too. Babies typically will lose up to 10% of their birth weight within the first few days after birth. Most babies will lose 6 to 7%, but once in a while you'll get up to 10%. And if that happens, then we weigh them a little bit more frequently, because babies should gain 1/2 to 1 ounce a day once mom's full milk supply is in.
And I think it's important to mention we do offer the breastfeeding support groups.
Yep. Our breastfeeding support group gets together every Tuesday. Depending on the Tuesday, it's either 1:30 in the afternoon or 6 p.m. at night. We do have a calendar online, and we give a calendar to all of our breastfeeding moms, so you know when that is. And then we always have a 24-hour line available. But we have a scale at the breastfeeding support group. We'll weigh the babies every week. If it's not a Tuesday and you want your baby weighed, call the department. We're happy to do that for you if we're not really busy. I also try to meet with people as the lactation consultant when I'm available too. If the support group doesn't work, they can always schedule a time to come up and see me. We often do what's called weighted feeds, where we'll weigh the babies prior to feeding and then weigh them after on our scale up here that measures in grams, and then we can see how much baby actually transfers. But bottom line, to know your baby's getting enough. Are they content? Are they pooping and peeing? And are they gaining weight? Simple as that.
Okay. And what should the mom eat while breastfeeding?
You really can eat anything. I'm a realist. I know I like to eat. I like different foods. I never say don't eat this, don't eat that. I always think anything in moderation is okay. If you're finding your baby's fussy or having some issues, then let's talk. Then we'll see. The biggest culprit oftentimes is dairy, cow's milk, affecting our babies. But that's not going to affect every child. So I hate to put so many stipulations on women. Don't do this, don't do that, do this, do that. It makes breastfeeding seem so overwhelming then. So I always tell them, you're going to eat more because you're going to be hungry while you're breastfeeding. You're going to burn calories fast. So eat healthy, of course. We should always eat healthy. And you're going to be thirsty when your baby's actually transferring milk. So drink what you need to. Avoid a lot of caffeine because that can decrease milk supply, but a cup or two of coffee a day is okay. Avoid too much alcohol because that can decrease milk supply. But you can have one occasional beer or glass of wine, and that's okay. Yeah, so there's really nothing you can or can't do. Okay. Anything in moderation is typically fine.
Anything else that our breastfeeding moms, families need to know?
I think I always tell people when I teach the class is set a goal for yourself. And sometimes that goal might be, I'm just going to try it in the hospital. Well, good for you. Try it. Let us help you. We've got lots of staff in the hospital in labor and delivery that are certified in breastfeeding education as well. And we're always here to help. We do try to stop in each day from lactation and see patients. There are times when we're so busy we just don't get to make it happen, but we do our best to get in there every day. Anyone on staff, if you can see my little badge, who's certified, you'll see the little orange lactation nurse badge. So look for that and ask for help if you are a patient here. Call us if you've already been discharged and need help. And we'll do our best to meet with you and to answer questions. And we don't want anybody to get frustrated, or quit because you're having a bad day. Definitely give us a call. But set a goal, and once you reach that first goal, set another one, and then set another one, and see how far you get. But even just trying is good for baby. Any little bit of breast milk that they get is good for your baby.
So, in conclusion, there are many benefits and challenges of breastfeeding, but know that support is always available to you. So, thank you for joining our Facebook Live today. If you've had a baby at Finley, if you're a Finley baby yourself, or you've had kids here, reach out to us, comment down below, let us know that you are listening, and then visit unitypoint.org/breastfeeding for more information, or call Finley's Baby Line at 563-583-BABY anytime. We're here day or night, and have a nice day.